Welcome to Coffee and Tarot with Mama T. My name is Teresa, and I am coming to you with a special edition of What's the Tea Tuesday. I have been noticing on several of the channels that I follow, some of the psychics and mediums that I follow, that they have mentioned that a certain person featured heavily in the news recently, who was recently killed. I'm not going to be naming any names or getting into any political discourse at this time. But anyway, this particular person has been coming to them and wanting to connect with them and share messages. I know of at least one YouTube blogger who accepted some downloaded messages from this particular person. I did not watch that video. I don't want my algorithm messed up, but a couple of the other psychics that I follow have mentioned that they received attempts from the departed person's spirit wanting to connect with them, and both of the people that I am thinking of off the top of my head declined the connection because they felt it was too soon and didn't feel like the spirit had had enough time to get into a good headspace after such a terrible death. And so my question today, when I'm asking what's the tea, and I'm using my what's the tea cards to start with, is what is this person's motivation in wanting to connect with all of these mediums? Why are they wanting to connect with them, and what is the motivation? And again, I'm not going to entertain any political discussion, any judgments one way or the other about the departed person, or anything like that. I'm just looking at this for entertainment purposes only, and just out of curiosity. I am morbidly curious, and this is I'm going to use these cards as a tool to try to get some information, and we'll see what we come up with. So without further ado, I will flip the camera over so you can see the cards as they're being pulled over. I have been shuffling this one while we've talked, and the other decks that I'm using I've already shuffled, and they are just waiting. So trying to keep the video a little bit shorter, so hopefully more people will watch. So without further ado, we'll do the camera switcheroo. Okay, that was an ordeal. Sometimes it just doesn't like to cooperate with me. Okay, so I've got a few that flipped over here from What's the Tea, and we'll start with these, and then I've got the Trish James investigation deck that we'll be using. This is a good deck to use when you really don't know what happened, and I like to use it when I'm watching what I call murdering shows on TV. I guess I shouldn't use the word murdering. Um, like 48 Hours and Dateline and that kind of stuff. I like to just play with these cards while I'm watching, just to see what pops up. It's crazy how often something useful comes out. I'm using the Connection Oracle as well. This one is good for practicing mediumship. I'm not a medium. I'm not a psychic, but sometimes I get some information. I do have clairaudience. I do hear voices sometimes telling me things, and I do have a little bit of clairvoyance, but only just a tiny smidge. And then we'll be using a Secret Language of Darkness card, And I'm going to use a lighter tarot deck since this is a kind of a dark subject. I'm going to use the Fairy Tale Tarot, and just use something a little light. So these have been pre-shuffled, prayed over, cleansed with crystals, and then we will, we'll see what we get. Okay, so for the What's the Tea cards, I saw a couple of these as they popped over, but I flipped them all over before turning it over. We get cyberbully. You're being bullied online, or they are, or somebody has suffered from it, etc. So, there is a lot of there's a lot of conflict online right now over this topic, and I don't know that any of it would be considered, well, some of it might be considered cyberbullying. I've been really laying low on social media lately, and not really participating or engaging with it at all. So I've only caught a little bit of a whiff of it. Thief, robbed, loss, theft, physical or emotional. So this person was definitely, they had their life stolen from them. So that sort of fits. Moving on. Okay, they're moving on. Thank you. Next. Bad karma. Maybe they're trying to clear some bad karma, and that's the reason why they are wanting to connect with these psychics and mediums. Ego, hurt ego getting in the way of relationship, etc. Okay, so maybe this person's ego is frustrated by some of the things that have been said about them, and they're trying to set the record straight from their point of view. Could be. I don't know. All right, so let's do the connection deck next. I'm going to just do a few of these, do 3 of these. Commotion, making a big fuss, a dramatic situation. So that is definitely what's going on here. There's definitely been a huge commotion online about not online, in the world, in politics, in people's very real lives. Everybody who witnessed this situation, they have to be traumatized by it. Unprepared, not ready for this, an unexpected passing. That's definitely true. Then attack, violent situation, an aggressive attack. Well, that is certainly true too. I unfortunately caught like a 1 second clip that I wish I could unsee. So, okay, so let's see here. Let's do some of these investigations. Probably, I'm going to do 4 of these. I'm going to do 5, 3, 4. Wrong direction. Okay, so maybe this person's spirit is telling us that some of us might be looking in the wrong direction. Accomplice or had help. That is certainly the opinion of many. Staged, set up, framed. Okay. Not involved and unaware. Okay, well, I have my opinions on this one too. All right. That's very interesting. Okay, I'm going to save the Oracle for last. Let's do some tarot cards and see. I'm going to move these kind of out of the way a little bit. Oh my gosh, my dogs are just barking up a storm. All right, tarot. So this is the fairy tale tarot. So what is this person's motivation? I've already asked this question of the deck as I was shuffling. What is this person's motivation for connecting with psychics and mediums? Queen of Wands. So they are looking for action. They want something. They want something to be known and acted upon. They definitely want some action here. They want somebody to do something as a result of what they say. All right, I got to go deal with my dogs. I'll be right back. Okay. All right, crossing energy. This energy can be helping or hurting this particular energy here. Three of Swords. So they're heartbroken. They're in grief about what happened, or they're worried about somebody who is heartbroken and in grief over what happened. Heartbreak and grief definitely is an energy surrounding this situation. Let's move these over here too. Where they're coming from. Five of Cups. In the recent past, this is loss, remorse, regret, concern about what they've lost, and without paying attention to what they have to gain. Right now they're focused on what they have lost, or this was the energy in the recent past. Where they're going to. The Queen of Swords. So the Queen of Swords is the queen who is the most insightful and associated with the truth. So they are looking for the truth to come out. Their hopes, their destiny or goal is a Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups is a happy family, abundance. Their goal, I think, is based on these cards and for entertainment purposes only. I don't know this person, obviously, but knowing what I know about the spirit progression, their goal right now is to accept the abundance of their current situation in eternal life. That's what they want to. They want to be able to release something so they can move on to this. And what they don't see coming is the Six of Cups. And the Six of Cups, I think, in this particular instance, this is nostalgia, the card of nostalgia and looking back fondly. And in my opinion, also entertainment purposes only, this is a card of looking back fondly and seeing the past in a light that is a little bit more rosy hued than it necessarily was in reality. Just seeing things better than it really was. The energy surrounding this particular spirit at this time is the fairy godmother, and the fairy godmother in this deck is associated with the that would be number one is a magician, number two high priestess, the empress. So they're it's the empress is a card of creation, fertility, abundance, and it's the combination of all of the queens, of the energy of all of the queens, and it's the divine feminine. And this is genderless, of course. And so, but looking at the energy around this particular person is that they are um, in a creative and fertile kind of mode right now. Their energy is one of abundance. Their energy around them, surrounding them immediately, is the happily ever after card. And the happily ever after card is not necessarily happily ever after. This is the end. This is the world card. It's going from one portal to another. One period of time ending and another one beginning. So that is definitely the energy surrounding this whole situation. Their hopes and fears is redemption. This is the judgment card. They are hoping for, they're hoping and fearing for judgment. And I know this person was, they were, they identified as a Christian, and I know that one of the Christian values is that hope and fear of coming before God and being judged for your actions and inactions over the course of your life, for your attitudes, your hopes, your fears, the desires of your heart, your true motivations, all of that. So that it's very common for Christians to both hope for and fear this moment. And then the final outcome is they want justice. They want justice to prevail. And that might be the motivation behind them reaching out to these psychics and mediums. All right. The last card I'm going to pull on this topic is from the Secret Language of Darkness. This is a kind of a shadow work sort of oracle. And we get 2020 vision. So hindsight is 2020. And a new earth begins. So 2020 is it's like it's that dynamic of being able to look back on things. Once you've gone through them, you can look back on them and have that hindsight is 2020. The book says, I can get to it. Clear sight or clairvoyance is ushering in new perspectives and ways to experience life. This time may be challenging as significant change is often preceded by upheaval. There are better times ahead. Avoid looking back and lamenting the closed door of the past, as it may tie you to suffering and regret. Instead, extract the wisdom from your past and project it forwards. Use it to help you restructure your inner and outer boundaries. Make space here in the present to rearrange your priorities and imagine how different approaches could play out. Be still, engage your visionary self, and gaze into the periphery of your circumstance. Consider what you may have bypassed by trying to skip ahead without processing life's lessons. Face, embrace, and integrate your experiences as wisdom. Otherwise, they remain issues that become obstacles to your fulfillment. When everything seems to have turned upside down, engage your 2020 vision for a kinder vision for the future. So that might be the motivation there, is that this person would like to share their 2020 vision and explain some things from what they know now. And also justice. They want justice. And then, they may want to share messages about how what we're being told right now, we're being told to look in the wrong direction, and that there probably was some help involved, or this was staged, set up, or a frame job. So this is for entertainment purposes only, just some food for thought. not political, just curious about the situation at hand. I hope I hope this, you enjoyed this. And if you did, give it a like and consider subscribing to my channel. And I hope to see you in my next video. Bye now. Take care.